Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Iyun to Lean On, part of Yeshiva YouTube. We're learning Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim Siman Samech Heichos Kriya Shema. One of the halachas today is about if you're not saying Kriya Shema and you walk into a congregation that they are in the middle of saying Kriya Shema. This happens to me a lot when I walk in a Marav over here, to a Mincha Marav, I don't know, I'm on my phone, looking at the stock market or watching a YouTube video or something like that, and then I come in from Marav, and I come in a little late, you know, and they're saying Kriya Shema. So the halacha says over here, you're supposed to say Kriya Shema with them. I believe it says somewhere also you're supposed to put your hand on your eyes, because the basic idea is you don't want to look different than the rest of the tzibur. The tzibur is makabala omal chushamayim. You don't want to be different and say, wow, I'm above you, I don't have to makabala omal chushamayim. Now, the basis of this halacha is not in the Gemara, it's a rush. The rush says the name of the Bahag. The basis is because it's predicated on the fact that we're assuming that Kriya Shema is Makabal Al Malchus Shemaim. And the Gemara does reference Kriya Shema as Kabbalah Al Malchus Shemaim in various places. But as I mentioned in my Iyun Shiurim, I believe the purpose of Kriya Shema, especially the first pasuk, which is the mitzvah d'oraisa, is to be Mekayim B'shach B'chav Komecha, that you should have Kviyas Itim LaTorah, you should learn Torah Shebachtav both in the morning and the night. So which is it? Is it a mitzvah of Liman Torah? Or is it a mitzvah of Kabbalah Al Malchus Shemaim? I like to say that there's l'chadchila and b'diavad, meaning ideally, like I said, the mitzvah really should be Torah Shebachtav every day. And part of the reason is because if you just learn Torah Sheba'al Peh all day, right, which you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to have on your mind the Torah Sheba'al Peh all day. Some people take this literally and sit in kollel and literally learn Torah Sheba'al Peh all day. I don't think that's what it means. I think it means that wherever you are, you should be thinking about the proper decision making, which is gleaned from a lot of the Torah Sheba'al Peh. Not that you have to. Should always be the cheshbon nefesh should always be in your mind. You should always be thinking what's the right thing to do, as opposed to actually learning like Amelia Bedelia the Torah Sheba'al Peh all day. But Yisrael Amalai doesn't mean to actually learn the Torah Sheba'al Peh all day. Torah Sheba'al actually you're supposed to read parashiyos from the Torah, at least the word Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. I believe that that's what it really should be. However, the Rosh and the Gemara is talking about Kol Tzal Malchus Shemayim. The reality is, this is the reality, the truth is that a lot of people neglect this idea. A lot of people neglect their duty in life of either they take it literally and they literally sit in kollel all day and neglect other responsibilities that they might have. I'm not saying you shouldn't sit in kollel all day, assuming you're fulfilling all the other responsibilities that you're supposed to do adequately. We're going to talk more about that in the coming shir. We're going to talk the Hashkafa shir, the real meat, chapter 12. It's really a revolutionary chapter, a very, very important chapter to talk about. So, like I said, the point is that ideally you should be able to integrate the Torah Shabbat and Torah Shabbat Tav, because if you're living a life where the Torah Shabbat Peh is on your mind always, so Yisrael V'Layla is on your mind, you're preoccupied with trying to do the right thing, so eventually it's going to lead to a proper understanding of Torah Shebachtav. Because I mentioned the sod of the Torah, the real meaning of the Torah is really, it's naked in Torah Shebachtav, but we don't understand Torah Shebachtav properly because we weren't given the abilities to see properly what Torah Shebachtav is. But Torah Sheba'al Peh leads you and guides you to the proper understanding of Torah Shebachtav. The words seem to be ancient and not mean anything nowadays, but I will prove to you over time, if you listen to all my shiurim, the Torah Shebachtav is very clear what you should be doing. You need the Gemara and the Mefarshim to explain to you sometimes what Torah Shebachtav is really telling you. But if you're doing it the right way, great, you did it the right way. You don't have to makabel of malchus shemayim. However, there is din ba'onesh in this world, and if you don't live life the proper way, and you don't value decision making, you don't try to make the right decision when you're given an opportunity, in your younger years, you don't try, you give up on that, and you don't care, you just keep on making the wrong decision and try to validate the decisions you make throughout your life and to rationalize them. Ultimately, it will be all malchus shemayim. It will be all malchus shemayim, and b'diavad, for most people, that's what it is. They're makabel madar avodim, right? Are you a ben chorin or an ebed, right? That ultimately was decided in the future, but Ol Malchus Shemayim is for most people. They are makabel Ol Malchus Shemayim, makabel what Hashem gives upon them. And if you don't value the Torah Shabbat the right way, to be preoccupied with what you're doing, make the right decisions, in which case you're not going to understand the Torah Shabbat. You'll never understand the Torah Shabbat. Then eventually the words of the Torah Shabbat, the mitzvah Torah Shabbat, will be a yoke on your shoulder. That's what it'll be. That is Kabbalah Ol Malchus Shemayim. The Torah Shabbat, which is represented every day in the three parshas of Kriya Shema, will be a yoke upon your shoulders. You'll be a vadim. You'll be a slave. It's a sad thing, and it's a very painful thing that we have this realization of what's in this world. But hopefully, we can do the right thing and we can go in the right path. And that's why I personally don't, agree with this halacha. I think ideally it's a mitzvah of limud Torah, and some people, the congregation is learning Torah. I can be doing other things. I don't have to learn Torah all the time. I can say my Kriya Shema afterward. If it's something like Ol Malchus Shemayim, so imagine you're in front of your master, the king or something like that, and everyone is saying Makabel Ol Malchus Shemayim, and you're not, right? You're a terrible slave. But if you're not a slave, if you're being chorin, it doesn't apply to you. So it depends how you lived your life. I think both things are true, that if you live your life the proper way, it's a mitzvah of limud Torah, you'll understand the Torah. If it's not, then the gravity of the Torah, the truth of the Torah, will eventually weigh on your shoulders as a yoke. And you'll be an Eved ad Yovel, until Yovel, Eved Kanaini until Yovel. Hopefully Yovel should come soon. See you in the real me. We're going to talk about some really important things today. He raises some important ideas about partaking in enjoyment in this world, how he balanced that with the ruchnius, the spirituality we're supposed to set our eyes on. See you there. Coming up next.